My dear friends, a very good afternoon. This is Commander Sudhir Kumar from my YouTube channel Pulse Beat of India. This topic once again is touching my heart because it has become a very hot topic and it is being discussed in various debates again. That is NPAs, non productive assets. If we talk about it, once again I repeat that during UPA time, there was a huge amount of loans, those were extended from PSBs, that is public sector banks. And these loans were extended without any accountability between 2008 2014, and it was nearly 33.40 lakh crores. You can convert it into then $1 billion. That's a very easy calculation. But what I would like to emphasize that all these loans, those were extended to the private businesses or the business houses or to the corporate in particular, that turned into huge NPAs the moment the NDA government took over in 2014. Starting from first 2 to 3 lakhs and slowly and that every year gradually they reached to near about 10.5 lakh crores. It was a huge amount and all these corporates were not paying. Then the issue was that how to recover these huge loans, those were extended during UPA time. And it was causing a very serious financial crisis to the banks because the banks were not having liquidity. Secondly, they were not having an appetite to extend loan to the further consumers and to the genuine customers. I mean to say the businesses, MSMEs, or even to the big corporates. And there was hardly any money with PSBs, that is public sector banks, once this NPA crisis rocked Indian economy. It was a huge problem. Then soon Prime Minister declared the demonetization, and after demonetization, then GST was there, and these two revolutionary steps were taken to strengthen economy. But immediately in 2015, the government brought IBC, that is Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, and then there was a start that how to provide resolution to these huge amounts of NPAs. Those were affecting the economy of India and the lending appetite of Indian banks. And then ISB also slowly it has been seen that as ISB has not been very potent component to solve these NPAs. Then the amendments in NPAs were done, and there were 12 accounts, the premium accounts or the accounts those were having the maximum loans on them, they were identified, and then certain accounts out of them have been liquefied. But that the disappointment by IBC was that the haircuts were taken, and the person or the businesses or the corporate those who were taking these NPA assets, they were taking at a haircut and deep haircut, and these haircuts were ranging from 67% to 93, 94, even rather 97%. It means the lenders were at loss, and if lenders were lost, it means our public sector banks were at loss, or I will say rather directly that it was an amount of taxpayer, the honest taxpayers, those are paying their taxes at right time to the government. That was the loss of, and it was the loss of country, it was the loss of poor men, and it was loss to that the further we can't improve the condition of poor or extremely poor or the people at last mile. It is huge challenge. We have recovered these NPA loans For the public sector banks, nearly 4.5 lakh crore over a period of time. But the government has lended or infused money of the same amount, rather near about 5 lakh crore, to the banks. And after that, many loans have been written off. People call it written off, but they have been wiped out from the balance sheet of banks, but it means they have not been written off. The recoveries processed by the banks is still on. But many people say that it is still the one side the government is not able to recover them. The deep haircuts have been taken, and secondly, these loans have been waived off. So these are the challenges that the government is facing, and now the situation is that how to recover them. Now, a concept has brought in the bad bank. The bad bank is that you take over these bad loans, those have been turned into NPAs from the public sector banks or the private banks, and you hand it over to the bad bank, and these bad bank in on one side will help these banks that their balance sheet will not be affected, and once their balance sheet is not affected, their lending appetite or the credit appetite remains healthy, and they do business for the future with the lending requirement is there to support businesses. With this, now to support bad bank, two companies, one is that national assets reconstruction companies have been started. ARC, uh, National Assets Reconstruction Company Limited has been started, and the another side, another company, the sister company, that is Indian Debt Resolution Private Limited, the company has started. Then what will happen? The bad bank has been given certain amount of money so that the bad bank is buying all these assets, and initially a provision has been made, the whatever the allocation near about 38,000 crores which has been done by the government of India to the bad bank, out of this uh, these resources allocation of the government, bad bank will extend near about 15% value of these assets. Those have turned into NPAs with the banks. The first, it is aimed this year that by the end of this year, 31st December 2022, we must be able to at least find a resolution for near about 2 lakh crore. And in that initial, the bad bank will pay upfront to take these bad assets or NPAs by paying only 15% of the value out of this resource allocation. And the next other, the moment they are able to sell these NPAs to the other companies, to the other corporates, other businesses at a good value, then the amount will be paid to the lenders. So let's see that this provision, as an extension to IBC, will be able to find a tool to settle NPAs. But my comments are it will be over a period of time that will see how potential tool it is going to serve the purpose. But if I take into calculation that this kind of a huge lending which was done in UPA time between 2008 and 2014, that was near about 33.40 lakh, 33 lakh 40,000 crores. It was such a huge amount without any accountability at any level by RBI, independent directors, the chartered accountants, or lawyer firms, or even at government side, finance ministry. No accountability was done. Even the lenders, the private lenders, I think they were under direction right from top from the government, so that their chairman, managing directors, they were not having any accountability, and I called it that it was a daylight bank loot. Now let's see this concept of bad bank, how we are able to serve the purpose. But in my estimation, I don't take the effect of these NPAs or these huge amount of lending during UPA time. Only it was limited to 12.5 crores. But this kind of a loan has not turned into providing the new businesses. The money was siphoned, the money is still not recovered, and even the people have not been put into jail. Though some people have certainly gone to jail. Vadhwa brothers in DHFL case, they are in jail. Rana Kapoor from Yes Bank, he is also in jail. Some others are there. But like Rishi Agarwal from ABJ Shippings, many others accounts where everyone knows about it, they are still being fought at different courts. NCLTs for resolution, NCLT to finding the disputes, DRTs, and different courts. It will be seen that how potential this bad bank concept is going to be. But in my estimates, the effect was not only 10.5 crores. If you take the loans were not returned in time, these loans were not used for the productive purposes or for increasing productivity or providing the jobs into it, and definitely the banks were affected, and in turn the government has to do the extra resource allocation, the money to improve the liquidity of banks. I think it bleeded the Indian economy by near about not less than 20 to 25 lakh crore. That is my estimation. And just think of it, if this effect of huge lending unaccountable without any accountability was not done, that how good the economic condition could have been. But still, I give 8 out of 10 marks to the present government in my analysis and the extensive research which I have carried out over a period of time. That a lot of efforts in this direction has gone into finding solutions urgently, and definitely to avoid recurrence of this kind of an, and definitely the demonetization, GST efforts, and IBC has provided a component to our economy where our economy has become robust. We are the fastest growing economy, and a structured phase of formal economy has been put into place, and that's why we are not only the fastest growing economy, but we are the maximum growth oriented growing economy in the world. That is, our percentage of growth is certainly higher than any other countries, and especially among the big economies. So this is a very healthy sign, and I am sure the government is putting all efforts, and this idea of bad bank to find resolution of NPS, it's worth near about 2 lakh crores of private sector banks as well as the public sector banks will find a solution. Till I come up next on the your topic which you would like to listen from me. Thank you. Thank you very much.